WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Alongside the ever-energetic Lucas Twitch DeSangro, I'm Fearon and...
2 in a row. Trying to break that part-timer stigma.
One more, that's called a winning streak. It has happened before. Huh, that was actually a pretty decent Lou Brown impression from... Major League. There's a throwback.
I'm one known for my impressions. Not here, around the house, annoying my parents.
Yeah, they're all negative impressions. Off to a rousing
We
start.
are ending the year right, destroying my confidence. Note the time.
Oh man, just. What can we do? I don't know. We'll figure something out here. Well, we're gonna talk 2017. That's what we're gonna be talking about here. I mean, it certainly beats other options.
You want to just shut the show down and just say, forget it, we're going to go home?
Well,
no, Nick, we just started. Though we have, like Mike Samsel said, when we're good, we're great, but when we're bad, we're better.
Something like that. That's the thing. I've gotten so many drops now. I like to try to shuffle through them in a quick fashion. It's just it's impossible. Yeah, something like this.
When we're good, we're pretty okay, but when we're bad, we're great.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Samsel.
Yeah, good to have him back last week. By the way, that was something about
a pleasant surprise. Kicked the door open, literally, scared the bejesus out of me.
Well, that doesn't take much.
I tinkled a little bit. That lumbering figure of his, and then, oh, it's Samsel! And I gave him a big hug, and he growled, and,
Well, you weren't supposed to put him in a bear hug. Save that for the ring. Genius.
I'm putting him in a bear hug in the ring. I'm cowering in the
true.
corner.
Your arms aren't that long.
They're not long at all. It's just bad posture. It makes it look that way.
Fair enough. All right, so... I don't know where the hell we're going. No, 2017. We talked a little bit about it last week, and I mean, there's certainly a lot of memories from 2017. Not a whole lot of news this week, so that's part of that kind of apropos.
I thought you were going to say not a whole lot of good ones.
No, I wasn't going that way at all. There were some memories, some good, some bad, and I'm sure just mentioning a couple of them here will pretty much any one of these you could certainly give a nice 20-minute dissertation on.
We don't have
or a soliloquy, or
unfortunately,
I don't know, something along those lines. So I mean, some of the things I just kind of jotted a few down here. This one actually goes back to the beginning of the year here, and because it's my favorite event of the year, the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and not even so much the result of it, but the aftermath that kind of followed as one of the big anticipations of the Royal Rumble every year is, what surprise entrant are you going to see? What name is going to pop out that you weren't expecting, or what?
Well, he definitely wasn't expected, but it wasn't received.
So and at the time, I mean, this was before Finn Balor had gotten called up to the main roster. This was before Samoa Joe.
He was injured. This was.
That's right. He was injured. I'm confusing Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. That's right. So
Samoa Joe.
Yeah. So some people were thinking it might be Finn Balor. Some people were even thinking before it eventually happened that it might be Kurt Angle, but. As things were dwindling down, I mean, there were some fun surprises. I mean, Ty Dillinger at 10 was certainly a good one.
That was really the only surprise, I think.
Well, and
or
then
Ellsworth, but
well, yeah, and Ellsworth as well. But once it got to 30, there was just this brewing, the hope and anticipation of that big name surprise had come to a boil, and let's just say that I was able to garner a few reactions once the buzzer had sounded and the music hit of entrant number 30, and just a nice little minute-and-a-half compilation here to kind of give you an idea of. Well, you'll know as soon as you hear you'll know as soon as you hear the music, and B, you'll get kind of a consensus of the reactions here.
Balor. Oh, you serious? Who's number 30? 3, 2, 1. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? God. I can't believe they just did this again. I can't believe they just did it again. 2, 1.
Joe.
If it's Joe,
I'm marking up.
Joe. What? What? Oh, off.
It's gotta be Balor. Look at this camera. Wow. What a joke. He's gonna win.
did someone ask for a Samoan named Joe?
Yeah. So, needless to say,
Roman Reigns' real name is Joe Anoa'i, for anyone who missed that joke. Because that was my favorite reaction. That was my favorite meme of that. Like, looking back, I'm actually really happy about that. Granted, at the time, I was a little bit indifferent because you're not allowed to get mad when you're in the business. So, indifferent. Indifference is my path at this point. I was like,
well,
okay.
that explains a lot of the last 4.5 years on this show.
Fair enough. Oh.
You just set that lob right up for me.
Spanish announce table. I set it up and you knock me down.
Oh. Anyway, so yes, you were indifferent at the time reacting about it, but you did appreciate the meme.
Now I'm extremely happy. In fact, I'm also quite happy that, what was it, at SummerSlam when Jinder beat Nakamura, I just wanted to lick the salty tears of the internet smarks. Just was amazing. Maybe I should have worded it differently at that
I was going to say, of which you were one of like 2 years ago. So
I know. Well, no.
Man.
I am a smark, but I try to be a good smark. In the sense of, let's put it this way. In the sense of, I am very knowledgeable, yes. I understand that there are a lot of big talent. There's a lot of big talent outside of WWE. I quite like Kenny Omega. But I understand why they would push Roman Reigns, because I understand certain aspects of why they do these things. I don't just blatantly hate Roman Reigns because he's not in Japan or in Ring of Honor. Good smark.
Oh my goodness.
There's nothing. You're right. Sorry. There's nothing good about a smark. I'm a very knowledgeable fan.
I'm just going to continue to let the sound of the screeching brakes
just hear the sound of the shovel hitting the dirt. That hole, you keep digging yourself in, kid. I say you're digging a hole, son. You're digging a hole.
Yeah, just with a rather large shovel. And I'm sure people will make an equation to that, which I'm not going to. So yeah, some other memories of 2017.
I am a bit of a gamer, yes.
As am I, which...
it's all about how you play it.
Twitch.tv for Ron Burgundy. No.
Very nice. It's been a while since we've had a shameless plug.
Well, not yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to get my quota for the year in. So there may be more throughout the hour.
I was going to say, you better start revving it up now.
Fair enough. Well, just based on our banter, I think that kind of sets the door for another notable memory of 2017, the Festival of Friendship.
Yes.
With Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho and what ended up being, at least for the time being, the disappearance of The List. Which was just a great thing in its own.
Oh,
I mean,
it was amazing.
Just Chris Jericho. I mean, his ability. I feel like I say this. I feel like I say this at least on an annual basis, but the ability of him to reinvent himself time and time and time and time again.
I was gonna say you also want to give that to Jimmy Jacobs as well. He was the one. Jericho even said like he was the one that helped come up with the idea of The List.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm
but
sure
for him
that
to pull it off.
Oh, I know. A lot of the Rock's catchphrases, involve the creative brilliance of Brian Gewirtz. So, I mean, I know that there's writers involved with it, but I mean, with Jericho, whomever it is, or the multiple whomevers that he has worked with over the years to just come up with different looks, different catchphrases, different. I mean, obviously, if he didn't have that, he wouldn't still be able to, in some capacity, rock the whole Y2J thing almost 18 years after everybody was worried about the whole Y2K thing. Which I know you don't remember because you were like
all the computers
one.
were shut down. The episode of Family Guy, Bill Clinton. Oh, what the heck? Come here, Hillary. Rockets are, all the nuclear rockets are shooting off into space. Computers are about to break down. I know of this Y2K you speak of. 'Twas long ago.
Yes, in a galaxy
No.
near by.
This galaxy, Fearon.
Well, yeah. It's so near that we're here.
On a very special episode of Pro Wrestling Weekly.
I was going to say, should I get the soft music in there? No.
No.
Little soft piano.
I've derailed this enough.
Fair enough. So I was going to say, I just came up with a couple of things. I've got a list of, speaking of The List, I've got a list of probably a good 15 different things that have jumped out at me from 2017. Plus, we've got an in memoriam, all those who have been involved in the wrestling business in one way or another, whom left us in this calendar year of 2017. I was going to say that's unfortunately a pretty lengthy list as I'm counting here. I think I put 17 names on here. I mean, there were certainly many more, but I mean 17 fairly notable names. Even one celebrity in there because that's another chance to get my shtick in. You'll see why coming up in a little bit. But first, man, we're already at that time to take care of a little bit of business. So,
What's coming up on the other side, Fearon?
Well, we've got more memories. We've got we'll get to Ed from Northeast Philly, who's been hanging on the line. Give us a look at the local scene here, and a couple of injury notes to talk about as well. So there's a few different things cooking here as we try to do here on this final 2017 episode of Pro Wrestling Weekly. And, got to let you know about our friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles, where they've announced their first 4 wrestling signings of 2018.
Ooh.
All at their Neshaminy Mall location. First, Saturday, January 27th, the day before the Royal Rumble, from 3 to 5 p.m., WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton.
Ooh.
No clue. I'm imagining his cast will still be there with him because that thing's been with him for the last, 30-plus years.
You'd
Also,
think it'd be healed by now. Take a hint. Sorry.
That's a very, very slow healing. Yeah, it's taking almost as long as my leg.
My leg.
Yeah. Also, just added this week on Sunday, February 4th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., former WWE diva Emma will appear at George's Neshaminy Mall location.
Sorry, what date is that for Emma?
February 4. That is the 1 week after the Royal Rumble. Then on that following Saturday, February 10th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., former WWE star and guest here on Pro Wrestling Weekly, D'Lo Brown.
Ooh.
Or as Deborah announced him, D'Lo Brown. Fun times. And appearing on Saturday, February 24th, former WWE star, the man with two hands and a chance, James Ellsworth.
That is February what?
24th.
Thank you. Write that down. We can post them in the fan page.
Yeah, or we can also share we'll probably share the link from George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook as well. There's a number of ways to do it because technology. George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing, and their newest location in the Oxford Valley Mall on the 2nd level next to Starbucks. For more information, go to georgescollectibles.com and follow George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. Plus, you can also follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at George's
they do
Cards.
have a Snapchat
They
now.
do. So I'm sure you can send them constant messages about what figurines they have available. And
Oh,
things like
I'm
that.
very well.
Oh, you've been there, done that?
Oh yeah.
Already.
I went back.
Already gotten blocked by that? No.
Yes. No, not really.
I was gonna say,
no,
really.
not really. I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize
really?
the work. I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize the working relationship we have with George's Cards and Collectibles.
Well, they know that that's all from you. I'm fine with them.
You can come, but Lucas needs to
Yeah,
stay at
leave the
home.
kid behind.
You know how there's no child left behind? Yeah, leave him. Now.
Oh, I like that. That's
Note the
well
time.
played. Yeah, you've a slight redemption here, to say the least.
Only slight.
Yeah. One down, about 5,300 to go. All right. That being said,
It's true.
it's damn true. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Join Rebecca's Forecast Tuesday at 10 a.m. She'll take your calls, questions, and fill you in on what's happening for your personal sun sign. Join Rebecca's Forecast once again every Tuesday at 10 a.m. right here on 1490 WBCB.
Hi, I'm Jack Spears. I bring you the greatest hits from the 60s to today here on 1490 WBCB, as well as Dune News. I hope you know what you want for the holidays, because I don't. I'll probably get a bunch of coal anyway, but in all seriousness, I wish you and yours a very happy holidays.
We all have the ability to touch the lives of those around us. To someone going through a difficult time, a text, a call, or a visit can mean so much. Reach out to the veterans in your life today. Let them know they're not alone. One simple act can make all the difference. That's the power of one. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, visit veteranscrisisline.net for free 24/7 confidential support.
Join us this and every Monday night as we break down the upcoming Eagles matchup with Paul Jolovitz and Tom Cardella with the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show presented by Corona. Join Paul, Tom, and a different Eagles guest each week from 6 to 7 p.m. as we talk all the ins and outs of Philadelphia Eagles football. The Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show presented by Corona every Monday night right here on 1490 WBCB, 610 Sports, and video stream live on WBCBSports.com as well as Facebook Live.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas Twitch DeSangro.
Hey.
Ending the year with a bang. Or something along those lines.
A bang bang? Cactus Jack?
No Twitch Foley. Not quite.
Right here at WBCB.
Right here in Levittown, Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania. There you go. That's more so what I think you were going for there.
Exactly.
Oh goodness. Let's go ahead and get to the phones. Yes, Ed from Northeast Philly with a look at the local scene. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly for the final time in 2017.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to
Yes, Happy New Year.
You mentioned about Bob Orton in Nishani Mall's George's card.
Yes.
I think they just added Barry O.
I was gonna say I haven't. I know I checked the site earlier. If there was a more recent update, I didn't go back to look at it as I wasn't expecting something to come out in the last couple of hours here. But stranger things have certainly happened.
Is that the younger? I think that's the younger brother of Bob Orton, or his uncle. You said.
Well, Barry O is I believe Randy's uncle. Yeah.
Oh, Randy's uncle. I'm getting them confused.
Yeah, that's it is a lineage or family tree that certainly has quite a few branches. Almost as okay, maybe not quite as many as the Anawai family, but certainly up there to say the least.
Takara at the Wrestle Factory, 2 p.m. on January 28th in Northeast Philly.
Trying to, there seems to be more of that, not just with WrestleMania, but now with some of the other big four pay-per-views of a lot of promotions trying to run events and capitalize during that time frame. Because Royal Rumble will be in Philadelphia, so a lot of convergence here to the Philadelphia area, just as in early April there will be a lot of convergence down to the New Orleans area.
They have Ember Moon and Aleister Black in Voorhees, New Jersey at Adventureland on the 27th of January. That's an autograph signing.
Man, that January weekend is going to be a hopping time, I'm telling you, the 27th and 28th.
And they have a good lineup for that convention. Yeah, they have Gene Okerlund.
The 2-day Collector Fest.
Yes. They have Gene Okerlund just added, Corey Graves.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm working on pulling that up now at thecollectorfest.com. Wow. So the feature attraction is the reuniting of the Four Horsemen: Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Barry Windham, along with J.J. Dillon. So all five will be in the house.
Also, they have Doom reuniting, and they just added Paul Velma and Mr. Wonderful. Pretty Wonderful. I couldn't think of their tag.
Pretty Wonderful. Oh wow, there's a bit of a throwback to say the least. Oh man, definitely bringing me back on that one.
And they have the Powers of Pain.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm looking here. There's I see Sting is set to be there. A live After Dark show with Bruce Pritchard and Jake the Snake Roberts. That's going to be Saturday night, the 27th. Mark Henry, Scott Hall, Ron Simmons, as you'd mentioned, part of Doom there. Victoria, Vader, health permitting.
Lisa Marie for Sean, or for Ron.
Oh, yeah, okay. I
that
see.
Might be, what's her name? Victoria, I think.
Yeah, Victoria,
Lisa
yes.
Marie, yes. Or Tara, for those who were fans of Impact Wrestling. All five of you.
Careful, Icarus.
Rick and Scott, the Steiners.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Samoa Joe. He's fat.
Oh, man. See, now you got me stuck on Pretty Wonderful.
And not to mention Teddy Long.
Yeah, Teddy Long's set to be there as well.
Call him Mr. Wonderful.
All right, we'll get that out of here. No Gary Spivey and all that from. Oh man, there's a
Wow,
throwback
Gary Spivey. Him and his what is it? The reminiscent of that flower you would always pick up as a child and blow away and watch all the stuff fall off of it.
The dandelion.
Yes, hair reminiscent of a dandelion. Which is funny because he's a dandy liar.
Oh boy. Anyway, Ed.
They have that big one in New York City on January 22nd at 2 venues for Monday Night Raw. The Barclays Center and the Manhattan Center.
Huh. They're going all out for that one here.
Yeah, that's the 25th anniversary show, I think.
Oh, okay.
Where all the legends come out.
The big event, right?
Yes.
Yes, I believe that is the name.
Yeah, we said the big one, and I immediately went to Sanford and Son because I don't know, that's where my mind goes with these things. What do you want from me? I don't know. I hear the big one. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey.
Somebody told me that Hogan might be there.
Who knows? I mean, from what I see here, I'm looking here at the big event. I was going to say the next one here on March 10th. I was going to say if Hogan was set to be there, it'd be interesting considering that Bret Hart looks to be the featured guest there. And I know those two have...
I'm coming to steal your spotlight again, brother.
Well, yeah, exactly that. All for the big one. Okay, the big event. Not quite the big one.
No, this is for the WWE.
All right, I'm sure somebody out there is going, quit playing the music in the background there, you big dummy.
You big dummy.
I didn't even hear that.
No, not me, young, you
Well,
dummy.
I put it in the background. Yeah, I was trying to not overshadow here.
Yes.
Twitch, take notes. Oh.
And I heard that Maria
The only thing
Kang,
I overshadow is my drawings.
I heard that Maria Kang is going to have a baby too.
Maria Kanellis?
Or Kanellis.
Yes, we did talk about. Or no, I'm.
No, we talked about Chrissy Hemme having.
We talked about Chrissy Hemme, but we talked about Maria having one. At least I believe so.
I know Mrs. Wife was having one, but I never knew about the.
Yeah, that's right. We talked. Yeah, Mike and Maria. Yeah, we talked about it around the end of September, beginning of October. That's right. Where have the last few months gone?
Down the drain.
They go too fast.
It most certainly does.
Yeah. That's about it.
All righty. Well, thank you for the look at the local scene. Any memories of 2017 that jump out at you there, Ed?
Not really.
Nothing. Okay. Nothing. Yeah. No. You usually look ahead more so than behind. That is more than understandable. Well, thank you for chiming in as always, and we'll talk to you coming up for the many events and many shows and many things here in 2018 as it comes our way here. Although I was going to say next week will not be one of those weeks, and the reason being, well, as I know I mentioned a little bit somewhat recently here, the MFPW returning to the world-famous Monster Factory at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey, 2 weeks from today, Saturday, January 13th, for Factory Reboot, where heavyweight champion of the MFPW, Leon St. Giovanni, defends the title against number one contender, the Freak Beast, Nick Camarado. Ooh. Plus, Bull James returns to the MFPW.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Any idea, any word on who he's facing yet?
Not as of yet, but hopefully we'll find out a little bit more next week. So yeah, that's Factory Reboot, January 13th at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. And next Saturday, check out the Monster Factory Fun Festival from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. There'll be face painting, games, prizes, autographs, pictures, and kids will be able to get in the ring with the stars of the MFPW.
And me.
See, I was thinking about saying it that way, but I wasn't going to.
It's better if I self-deprecate.
There you go. Plus, just confirmed yesterday, Pro Wrestling Weekly will be broadcasting live on location from the Monster Factory Fun Festival from noon until 1. So you'll be able to, so head on down early. You'll be able to chat and kibitz with us as I'm working on setting up the broadcast, and you'll be there live when we're live, pal. As JR so classically said to Psycho Sid back in the day. Yes. And tickets for the Factory Reboot are available now at eventbrite.com. And make sure to check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as at monsterfactory.org. And make sure to check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. So, yes, I was going to say, we'll get into more memories and things of 2017 on the other side. A couple of little news tidbits to get into. First, for those who missed it Monday on Raw, Brian Kendrick, suffering a broken nose and broken orbital bone during Monday's Raw, according to the WWE website. The injury occurred when he took a go-to-sleep, or GTS, from Hideo Itami.
Pretty much when Brian Kendrick headbutted Itami's knee.
Yeah.
He did not protect himself at all. Though, granted, I don't know how you protect yourself on a GTS, because I've studied the move many a times to figure out how to take it, if I ever was so lucky. And also just because, Punk. I know. I'm a huge fan of Punk. But,
you saw the ear-to-ear grin just kind of creep across my face, almost like the Grinch as he's coming up with the master plan.
I'm going to destroy him like I did Christmas.
Or like Tim Curry in Home Alone 2. Pretty much the same thing. I love you, Tim Curry.
I do as well.
Speaking of CM Punk, WWE Dr. Chris Amon telling WWE.com, quote, a fracture was suspected and he was taken to a local emergency care facility in Chicago
where they did not administer Z-Packs, though I suggested strongly they did. Get the tussin!
Wow. All right, well, we'll take a break in a moment, and I'll unbury Twitch. But in the meanwhile,
too late.
Yes, he was taken to a local emergency care facility in Chicago where a CT scan confirmed a diagnosis of an orbital wall fracture and a minimally displaced nasal bridge fracture, end quote. Although color commentator Corey Graves provided an almost instantaneous diagnosis, stating 14 seconds after the strike from the go-to-sleep and the subsequent pinfall, quote, you can see Kendrick writhing around in pain. I'd be surprised if Brian didn't suffer a fractured orbital bone or broken nose, if not worse. So good on Corey Graves for figuring that out.
This isn't meant as a jab, but Graves has had he's had his thing with concussions, so I'm sure isn't it like when you break your orbital bone, isn't that almost like a guaranteed?
Well, it's bad. I know that much, and for that reason, no timeline was given for Kendrick's return to the ring. And speaking of the injury front. Yes, more bad news on the injury front. Michael Cole announcing on Monday's Raw that Dean Ambrose will be sidelined for roughly 9 months after undergoing surgery to repair a high-grade triceps tendon injury.
Yeah, that's he's going to be out till at least September.
Yeah, I was thinking around or probably after SummerSlam 2018. That's not good.
Yeah.
However, one thing that is good is the delicious way to end the year at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. There was no other way I was going to get out of that. It's a Firkin Awesome Saturday as a special surprise Firkin tapped about 40 minutes ago. Fun times. Plus, it may be cold outside, but things heat up tonight at the Broken Goblet with the return of Kinky Quizzo. No truth to the rumor that you'll see Twitch or I there. No.
Well, at least not me. I'm going to have to be shoveling and trying to get to the gym and such.
Nope, I'll save that conversation for the commercial break.
And
it's definitely
shoveling,
not safe for airwaves. NSFA.
Well, shoveling, here's the thing. Shoveling, I don't mean what I'm doing right now when I'm burying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, the Goblet is open tomorrow from noon to 5 for any last-minute New Year's libations, including Santa's Slayzon. Get it before it's gone. Gyroscopes and Infrared IPA or the potent Karl the Great Russian Imperial Stout. And I think there might still be a tidbit left of Nori, the Belgian triple brewed with lavender and a hint of rosemary as well. So you definitely want to get that before it's gone. Plus, with tomorrow being game day, that means food specials during the Birds and Boys game. So a few reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. And make sure, speaking of getting them before they're gone, you have the opportunity to sign up for the 2018 Irregulars membership. That's right. You can be almost as irregular as I am. Nothing to add to that? I figured that was a lob for you there. I just thought, all right.
I don't know what I can get away with, so I'm just going to play it safe, if you will.
Smart man. Yes, no, the irregular membership includes discounts off of pints of beer, discounts off of growlers, or the new crowlers, which are rather interesting. A canned growler, essentially, a 32-ounce can. Pretty much what would be an appropriate can of beer for the size of, like, Andre the Giant.
Jeez.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
and that would look like a regular can of soda.
Well, exactly. Like a regular can to us would I mean, that's in Andre the Giant's case, it'd be like a sipping a Dixie cup. So something a little more to his size. But it's also good for sharing for those of us who aren't gigantic like that.
Yeah.
So just, and there's a whole bunch of perks more, including the members-only attendance to the soft opening of their new location set for spring of 2018. More details on that to come.
Is this an addition, or is this just their...
No, this is a relocation. So for now, they are still at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, but eventually they will be moving to Bensalem, and I believe sometime in... they're saying spring, so I'm going to guess somewhere in the April to May range of 2018 is when that'll occur. But again, plenty of time to let you know about that. So with that, more stuff on the other side, looking back at 2017 and an O'Reilly-style Today in Wrestling History right after this here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Stand out in your career. Gwynedd Mercy University offers doctorate and master's degree programs in nursing and education with certification options for experienced educators and counselors, plus MBA programs for business professionals, including a transportation leadership concentration, a unique program in the region developed with employer input. GMercyU students say, "I love the individual attention the program gives to each student." Advance with us. Visit gmercyu.com or text MERCY to 343-434.
Hi, this is Wendy Coons from the office at WBCB Radio. I'd like to wish all of our listeners a very peaceful, calm holiday season and a healthy new year.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Experience the spirit of giving when you enter Flowers by Jenny Lynn. Whether it's for a wedding, a birthday, or just an I'm thinking of you, Flowers by Jenny Lynn has the perfect gift. Feast your eyes on the bright hues of the season in their fresh flower department. They also carry a wide variety of flowers daily from around the world, including tropical flowers, wildflowers, roses, and seasonal floral mixes for every taste. Flowers by Jenny Lynn also carries unique gifts, like gourmet jams, candies, and cookies. Serving the area for over 25 years, Flowers by Jenny Lynn is your Fairless Hills florist. Stop by their beautiful shop to see for yourself, located at 100 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills, or check them out online at flowersbyjennylynn.com. Give them a call today at 1-800-547-4551. The number again is 1-800-547-4551. Flowers by Jenny Lynn, the art of fresh flowers.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, December 30. On this date in 1976, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Knoxville, Tennessee. In the main event, Lex Luger defeated Greg Valentine. On this date in 1997, WWF Monday Night Raw was taped in New Haven, Connecticut. In the main event, the New Age Outlaws defeated the Headbangers in a tag team match. On this date in 2007, Ring of Honor held its final Battle Supercard. In the main event, Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black defeated Jay and Mark Briscoe to win the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. On this date in 2013, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Richmond, Virginia. In the main event, Daniel Bryan defeated the Wyatt family in a gauntlet match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, December 30.
You are listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Dairy.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Dairy here alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro. And
hey.
So we're taking a look at 2017. First, I was going to say, we'll kind of dip things down a little bit to kind of bring back up to some fun memories here. In memoriam. So over the course of 2017, we lost, as I said, quite a few people here. Back in January, Timothy Well, one half of the WWF tag team Well Done, he passed at the age of 55. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, that was a huge one at the age of 73. And this is where I was talking about getting my shtick in earlier. Sure you'll be able to figure this one out in a moment. Not that she was very involved, as her appearance pretty much was left to a cameo at WrestleMania 6, but nonetheless, still very popular and beloved throughout. None other than Mary Tyler Moore. I was going to say, I didn't know if the theme would ring a bell or not.
The theme, no, but I do know that I thought it was Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure Florence Henderson passed away last year.
I don't know. Like I said, this is just a chance to get the theme in there because it's a great theme. Because she did. She turned the world on with her smile. All that was missing was her throwing a hat up in the air at WrestleMania 6. You know. Yes. Huh, Marley, where'd you come from? All right. Also, Chavo Guerrero Sr. From February of this year at the age of 68. George the Animal Steele. Another Hall of Famer, 79. Nicole Bass. Oh, that's right. This was around that time where there were 4 wrestler passings in a week's time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chavo Classic, George the Animal Steele, Nicole Bass, and Ivan Koloff, all within 7 days of one another. Man, that was not a fun time for anyone involved, and us reporting it as well. From March, Outlaw Ron Bass, noted for his censored spur slicing of Brutus the Barber Beefcake's forehead back in '88 that took him out of contending for the Intercontinental title and led to the Ultimate Warrior getting it at the inaugural SummerSlam '88, excuse me. Dennis Stamp, that was also from March. Another kind of wrestler from back in the day. He was 70. This one hits close to home for us at the Monster Factory. Larry Sharp from April of this year. Matthew Anawai, better known as Rosie, the superhero in training. You can do your own acronym on that. That was from a week after. That was also in April of, mid-April of this year. And then, thankfully, not really much in terms of that unfortunate news until the beginning of July. On the same day as younger brother Brett's birthday, the oldest Hart brother, Smith Hart, passing away at the age of 68. A lot of these are from cancer, too. I've said it all the time. Cancer sucks. Yeah. I don't think I can emphasize that enough. Otto Vance, former AWA heavyweight champion. He passed at 74 from an undeclared short, serious illness in September. And then that kind of getting overshadowed 3 days later by Bobby the Brain Heenan. From September 17th, complications from the throat cancer. Lance Russell, the longtime Memphis play-by-play announcer, he passed at 91 in October of this year. Stan Kowalski, former AWA tag champion, from October 20th of this year at the age of 91. And most recently, just 3 weeks ago, Tom Zenk, the Can-Am connection. No cause listed as of yet for that, as that news only broke maybe about a week or so ago. So yeah, hats off and all those other things to those whom we lost this year. I hate sad news like that.
Yeah.
But it's also remembering their life and legacy and things of that nature. And that's part of what the memory is here of 2017, and remembering some of the other moments, some of the good, some of the bad, and some of the WTF, for lack of a better term. Some of the good, the return of the Hardys at WrestleMania.
Yes.
And the recent awakening of Matt.
Yes.
It's delightful.
Delightful.
Let's see some other good things. This one's kind of under the radar a little bit, but Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Yes. Go on now.
Yeah, the YouTube classic that has become. Also the tournaments, the United Kingdom, the UK tournament in the beginning of the year, and then the Mae Young Classic.
That United Kingdom tournament was you got to showcase how good the UK wrestling scene is, and it's only getting better, honestly.
Yeah, and another kind of unsung thing, or at least kind of under the radar, The Miz making Talking Smack a talking point.
And then it got canceled.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that had to do with him filming. What is he up to? The Marine 38?
Oh no, that was way
that's
after.
More recent.
That was well after Talking Smack got
know.
canceled. But that was like, oh my gosh, it was something new and it was working, and then Meek Mahan canceled it.
Were you putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable there? What were you?
I was saying it Woken style.
Okay. Hopefully somebody else is still somewhat woke after that. But an attempt to humor. No? Okay.
Car
Moving
crash.
on. Yeah, pretty much. Damn it, I knew there was something I forgot to do. All right. I'll just keep kicking that can down the road. I don't get any more infringement
Right past
things.
the car accident that just happened with that joke.
Yeah, pretty much. And speaking of crashes and other things of that nature, how about the House of Horrors match?
Yeah.
As you sprung up, oh yeah, that was the thing.
I forgot about that.
Well, that's part of the memory. I mean, there are some great memories, and then there are some that
should have been left in the past.
Some that people, I guess, prefer to forget. I
Leave those memories alone, Fearon.
Was another Flair retirement on the line? No. Well,
probably.
Well, speaking of that, goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire.
I don't see the big deal.
Well, it wasn't so much about the event; it was just more so about the name. No, nothing.
I didn't see a problem with it. It was like a 50s themed sort of thing. I don't see why,
Well, I mean, I forget if I allowed us to talk about it or not, but the changing of the logo initially, because it looked a little suggestive, the initial logo for the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view.
And then people just decided to make it suggestive when they changed it.
Well, it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't really put it back in.
Fair enough.
At least that's my take on it. Let's see. This one, I don't even know if we want to call it something that you want to forget, or it's just more so where is it going, but the hat and jacket left in the middle of the ring at the end of WrestleMania 33 by The Undertaker.
How is that bad, though? Why is I would actually be pretty, I'm not going to lie. If Undertaker comes back this year, I might be a little bit ticked off. No pun intended.
Oh, I see. Twitch. Okay, gotcha.
If anything, that should have been fine. He did the honors. He put Roman Reigns over, left his hat, he kissed Michelle McCool, and he walked to the back. That should be it. That's his swan song.
That's the ride off into the sunset, as opposed to Ric Flair, who had the perfect send off and then went to TNA to bloody himself up with Hulk Hogan
Because it worked so well the first time in WCW.
Only this time in their late 50s, early 60s. I see where you're going with that, and but I'm sure there are still some people who just they don't want it to end. But I think there are also some people who still want Brett Favre as their quarterback.
Yeah, those people need to realize that there's a thing in show business called leave the fans wanting more, but you don't give it to them because then you don't have a spinoff that jumps the gun.
So that's why you're here sporadically.
Nobody wants me, Fearon. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, I was expecting a lot more out of that one. Oof. Car crash, number 5.
What do you mean you're expecting a lot more out of that?
I thought it was going to be funny. It just sounded just sounded really depressing, Fearon. It's not the intention I needed to give off. Now my inbox will be flooded with messages. Oh, Jeebus. Oh, Jeebus.
All right, while he's working on untangling his tongue, let's see, some other things real quick here. The Shield reunion that wasn't, because the first time it was set to happen, there was the undisclosed viral infection that was going around WWE that had Roman Reigns out of the mix for a little bit, and now with Dean Ambrose being out for at least the next 9 months, you're looking into late 2018 if they're going to go back to that well. And I don't know if this is a well they're going to go back to at all, but Jinder atop the mountain.
It was a
thing.
It was okay at first. As it started to go on, and you knew it was starting to tank.
Oh, that could be said about a lot of things. I mean, all good things must come to an end. Then there was the
But if it's not good, end it quicker. Sorry.
Twitch, you're no.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well,
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, didn't even get the chance to pull up the drop on that. I just blurted that out there.
Because sometimes you don't need the drop. You just need to drop me.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then a very good thing, AJ Styles and his hair.
And his flat earth. This is my favorite thing on Talking Smack was, you're a slow thinker, Daniel Bryan. What about you thinking the earth is flat? Well, you have flat feet. Yeah, that might be true, but at least I think at least the earth, I know for a fact, is a sphere, rotates on an axis.
All right, we're not getting into that science discussion, but it looks like it's about that time for us to get into
birthdays.
Right on the mark on that, or on the money,
Careful
too.
now.
All right, 4 plus 3 Brucey bonuses, so I got to get through them quickly here. All right, first on this date in 1953, William Kazmaier was born, the former world champion powerlifter, strongman, and WCW competitor in 1991, better known as Bill Kazmaier, turned 64 today. On this date in 1967, Carl Joseph Ivan Ouellet was born. The former WCW Hardcore Champion and former 3-time WWF Tag Team Champion, perhaps best known as Pierre of the Quebecers, turns 50 today. On this date in 1976, Anthony John Pierzynski was born. The World Series winning Major League Baseball catcher, manager in TNA, and contestant, in inverted commas, on WWE's episode The Price is Raw back in September of 2009 with Bob Barker as host. Better known as AJ Pierzynski, turns 41 today. And on this date in 1983, Eric Marr was born, the former ROH and TNA World Heavyweight Champion, 7-time Tag Team Champion, and first ever ROH Television Champion, better known as Eddie Edwards, turns 34 today. And to the Brucey bonuses from outside of the world of wrestling, and in this case, we're going from sports entertainment to sport. On this date in 1975, Eldrick Woods was born. You probably know him better as Tiger Woods, the 14-time major pro golf champion and phenom. He's 42 today. On this date in 1984, LeBron James was born, of course, of the NBA fame. He's 33.
LeBron James.
And 1992, Carson Wentz was born, the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and currently out with an ACL injury. He turns 25 today. That's going to do it for us. Till next year, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
Celebrating 60 years of broadcasting excellence. We're 1490 WBC.